What's up, gang? Today, actually, if anybody needs some Spanish lessons, I'm going to push my Fiverr link below in the description so you can do that. But we're going to talk a little bit about Wednesday and why it's just the most trash show, the worst show that I could possibly think of. Starting off with the fact that actually, it wasn't a horrible show. So it had me drawn into just about the eighth episode, and it's got its things, right, along with the basic goth girl far leftist kind of thing. And it was okay. It was okay. But here I'll tell you why. Towards the end of the eighth episode, this show, this show allows a 16-year-old to conduct police investigations. And not only that, but she puts a young man in jail. If anybody knows Xavier, the kid in the show, this kid was completely innocent. But because of the lies and of this young girl crying wolf, she puts him in jail. And the show can go over that and let it fly. But the second that it did that, it's just what it's doing is every other young girl is going to go watch that. Every other girl is going to go watch that and think that they can do the exact same. Cry wolf and lie on somebody else's name with no evidence, no proof, no reality behind the such, but just guilty by public opinion. Just because it looked like Xavier was guilty, he had these drawings inside of the basement that made him look like he was a killer. Now he's the killer. And what happened? This man is locked up, jailed, and you see him in chains just like this. And she has the audacity to come back to the prison and ask for help because she needs his help to figure out something else. You know what that is? Those are signs of a person that's narcissistic, neurotic, and has an obsession with something just beyond anybody else's care. She doesn't care about what anybody else feels, doesn't care about what anybody else needs. And all these people put themselves out there for her to try and help her. And she doesn't have any regard for anybody else. If that's the agenda we're pushing, think about how many more people we're going to have out there doing the same thing that she is. And I'm specifically talking about this radical feminist movement where they don't need anybody, they don't need men, they don't need nothing until they just need them. Until they just need them. And they will conjure up these crazy radical obsessions and put innocent people where they shouldn't be. This kid had no reason to be in jail. And the fact that the show just lets it slide like it's just another scene. Okay, in the show, maybe it's another scene. But what happens when that really happens in real life? And you have an innocent kid, an innocent young man in jail for something that he didn't do, all because some chick cried wolf and didn't have all the facts together. Tell me, what in the world is a 16-year-old doing running police-orientated investigations? Why? Why does that even exist? Why have we gotten to the point where anything a woman says is just bound to be true? Why is it necessarily true? And why does this other guy have to face the consequences for it? Maybe in the show it's happy go dandy and then he's out. But the reality of that, the reality that me and you both know, is that that's not the reality in real life. Once you're in jail, there is a process. Once you're in prison, there is a process. And even post prison, once you maybe have gotten out of the whole system and all the charges have been dropped, that doesn't clear from your name. That doesn't leave. The reputation behind that follows you everywhere you go because some bitch decided to just cry wolf, pardon my language, because some chick decides to cry wolf, say lies on your name, and then now you have to face the consequences that run with him for the rest of his life. Not only was he put in jail, not only did he suffer psychologically from everything that she did to him, but now he's branded a murderer, a killer, a serial killer, a psychopath, a monster, and she gets to run off like the hero of the story. That's not fine, and that's not okay. And that's a big picture that the whole agenda of society is trying to paint around that women can be and women can do. And I know there's going to be a lot of young girls that are going to want to follow that little stat eye because that's just the way that society is. Really, we're a bunch of followers, and that's what they want to do. They want to follow the next hot trend, and if this is the next hot trend, you're going to see a lot of people wanting to act up like her. But what are the qualities of neurotic, obsessive, delusional, radical, unpredictable? She doesn't care about anybody. How is that somebody that you would want to be? She doesn't care about anybody except for her own desires. Anything that is good for her, she cares about. And that doesn't matter if she puts somebody else's life in danger or if she ruins somebody else's life. That's who you want to be. This show was trash. Along with the quirky, lame, far left, emo goth girl kind of vibe, that shit's dead. That shit's dead. Lame ass example. The second they put old buddy in jail, I thought that was just disgusting. How is a 16-year-old young girl running a police investigation? And when did we get to the point where we believe what a 16-year-old girl is saying? When do we just throw people? Blows my mind. So now just girls can just lie about anything and you face the consequences. What are the consequences for them?